is just fantastic.
Hello everyone, welcome to, I think, the 4th video of 2025, and by extension I guess a new video. Today we're going to be talking about Hasan, so I expect the downvotes to be exponential. You're welcome. And I'm okay with this, because engagement is always good for the algorithm, in case you didn't know. Yes. The reason why is because he's popped up in the news, but also a few clips have done their rounds on the Twitters, or X. The first article of interest I hadn't known, existed anyway, came out near the end of December, titled, "I think the Overton window is shifting on Palestine." The 33-year-old Twitch streamer, daily political commentator who's trying to, for New Year's resolution, be more fun and happy, okay, first posting though, he's definitely doing more of that, has been described as the left's answer to Joe Rogan. If we're going to consider Joe Rogan a Nazi, then by extension, Hasan Piker is too the same thing, because apparently they meet at the other end. This guy thinks of Joe Rogan as quite an extreme example, yet Joe Rogan is not a Republican. If memory serves, he's a bit of a swing voter, to be honest. Here, he discusses why the Democrats lost the US election, the root causes of mounting misogyny among young men, and the fight for Palestinian emancipation. In your view, why did the Democratic Party lose the US election? Now, I remember his coverage during the election itself. It was not the greatest. He got very irritated. It wasn't like Cenk, who again got very upset, this time at the party as opposed to Trump and the voter, because this time Trump had the voters. His answer, the short and sweet of it, 3 paragraphs but okay, is that the Democratic Party has both a messaging and a policy problem. Well, they've had 4 years to get it right, and they failed. They aren't seen as trustworthy. Imagine my shop. They're seen as out of touch, smarmy elitists who are technocratic and ideological zealots in their commitment to the maintenance of third-wave neoliberalism. Yes, I balls that up. In the US, at a time when many Western nations are very clearly experiencing a resurgence of a formerly nascent fascist movement. I see what we did here. Earlier today, my Prime Minister announced no inquiries into GROOMING gangs, and if you promote it, you're far right. Okay, I didn't realise safeguarding children qualified for that, but go ahead, Queen, you do your thing. America is no different, and the Democratic Party is so committed to the same corporate benefactors as the Republican Party that they are terrified of disrupting the status quo. Well, that was a point. You need to shake the very foundations of the bureaucracy to change it. If all you ever do is sit back and say, oh, this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and nothing's different, it's just getting worse, then you're not seeking improvement. But this is what the article is about. When asked about, being labelled as someone who radicalises people to the left, he said, after a century of Red Scare propaganda, people are inherently hostile to any sort of anti-capitalist sentiment, says the guy who makes millions, without ever examining why. They're so negatively polarised against it that anything that I say for many people immediately reads as me being an infiltrator, a disruptor, a hypocrite, a contradiction, someone who wants to destroy America. You do. Why? Because I want free healthcare. If only such a thing could be implemented in your country. But the problem you've got is the very foundation of it is built on a very predatory system. You can't replace that system. You really can't. But I do hope you can one day. But there's no such thing, just to be clear here, as free healthcare. Even in my country. It doesn't exist. If it does exist anywhere, I promise you, it's still not free. Somebody has to front the bill. The regular argument I see touted as a way of helping this is to tax the rich even more. This rarely gets any solutions, because it just pushes more wealthy people to move somewhere else. And then you find an even bigger deficit because it turns out they made up a vast majority of the taxpayer anyway, as far as monetary representation. You may be anti-capitalist, but you benefit massively from a capitalist system, which is why I and many others think you're a hypocrite. You benefit from massive privileges as well. Now, some videos were doing their rounds because from his streams he had responded to the idea that a video is incoming from Ethan Klein, because he had for a time worked with Hasan, which surprised me considering how volatile Hasan is. Their differences though when it came to Palestine and Israel are obvious, and I'm not taking a side, don't try me. This is the middle ground channel. Hasan's in the wrong though. This is what Hasan had to say about it on one of his live streams.
Smear campaign on you, lol. I'm sure that won't be unhinged. Please, you guys. It's the holidays. Let's just take a deep breath and enjoy life, okay? I don't want to fucking I don't want to know. I don't want to even think about that. Ay, ay, ay. Make no mistake, it is not because I'm so fearful. It's just that every time some shit like that pops off, there are just a week of just a endless sequence of people coming in here with new accounts to be like, dude, address this thing that you have explained 7 million times.
What's cute here, it was tweeted out on the 1st of January by Nick Diorio. That's not the cute part, although that does provide a time discrepancy. The cute part is, this individual streams almost daily for 7 to 8 hours. That's his thing. He is going to be asked by new people because he gets at least 200 to 300 new followers every single day. He is always going to be asked about it. When it came to properly addressing certain gripes and criticisms concerning Ethan Klein as well, he never properly did. He tries to be flippant. He tries to fob you off. He tries to be the very bestest of best hipsters about it. He will never be able to avoid the inevitability of this problem for as long as he is intentionally, willfully, woefully negligent on it. But that is the Hasan Piker way. No offense intended to those that support him, but at this point he comes across as a con artist. He's one of those idiots that believes this is a full-time job that burns your social battery. Like, no, you do a lot of reaction content. You're not... No, don't be like that. Be better. Now, to move away from Ethan Klein, because all of that, including the article, tied in quite handily, we now go to Destiny. You see, Hasan doesn't like Destiny. He really doesn't like Destiny. And so it wouldn't surprise you that on his streams, yes, Destiny gets a mention. And Hasan has some advice. Well, he was given some, in fact, in the form of a recommendation for a New Year's resolution. Hasan took it well. This is a man whose content goals are to focus on more fun content. Diverse content, bring back TV show reaction meta. Because he wants to be even more of a bum, but not lose his audience. But this is what you get from somebody, these content goals you see on the screen. This is what you get from somebody who politically has lost and is waiting for the right time, once Donald Trump assumes office, to then start hammering him on his policies. And hopefully not lose too many of his own audience, but then he does have quite a large waddle of sheeple. So this is Hasan's reaction.
Can I give some good faith constructive criticism? I recommended you to an IRL friend one time and he tuned out after watching you only 1 hour since you were talking about some D-drama for a portion of the stream and he was just so confused. Obviously, you understandably got to bite back when getting flamed by DG and haters, but perhaps maybe you did give too much stream attention to them sometimes. Yeah, no, that is not good constructive criticism.
It 100% is, because this is your full-time job. Therefore, if somebody has recommended your stream, they watch it and have no idea what's going on. To reduce the confusion, either you provide the context, or you perhaps reduce the amount of conversation on it, because let's face it here, people are going to be confused, sure. You're regurgitating talking points you've used many times on the same person. It seems a bit like punching down, or up, depending on your perspective. It's a good idea because 1 hour of your near 8 hour streams is taken up obsessing over one person. Unless the stream is dedicated to that person, it seems redundant. There is no such thing as bad criticism. I know someone now wants to be pedantic about it. Consider it again your New Year's resolution to be less of a tosser. Okay, there's no such thing as bad criticism when it comes to us as creators. I would say you as well, but you're a streamer and you steal content. So I'm not entirely sure how you can't be asked to be creative for near 8 hours. Since this is your job after all. Prepare, practice, perform, Hasan. There's more to this, by the way, and I want to continue with it.
That's bad constructive criticism because in the process of doing 8 to 10 hour streams, I think the coverage that I've done on that issue is like so marginal and so minimal. It might have been a, unlucky moment, I guess, for your friend.
I love that you're so full of pride. You're so full of yourself. Your arrogance, which is pride, won't allow you to perceive how others can perceive you. Which means you're unable to introspect, which is something you've failed to do for years now. Introspection and Hasan Piker is an oxymoron. Although in this instance, we could take Oxy right out of the situation entirely.
Reinstall the embargo on Destiny Reacts? Yeah, I haven't been doing Destiny Reacts for quite some time.
The main reason why is because he thinks he's won, but also because he knows he'll get clarted up by everyone on the internet. He has to, at this point in his career, pick his battles. because he's treading very fine lines towards the lolcow territory. When he loses his audience, he will officially become one. He knows it, he just doesn't want to change it. Also, I love that your resolutions were to be more fun, but fun is also a somewhat contradictory term that's rarely used near you, because you are not fun. You're the type to think that fun means showing off how much money you've got by acting as if you're not abusing the capitalist system to look better than everyone else. Yet many of the selfies I've seen you post of late would certainly indicate you are very comfortable in a capitalist society.
And I don't think I will do any time soon. But I do think that the limited amount that I have done have been important in terms of defending myself and also showcasing. Like, I do need to, at certain points, especially when I'm relentlessly under attack, I do need to showcase my perspective.
What's amusing about that is, we know your perspective on it. You don't need to tell us, because you're a good little comrade. We know exactly what you're thinking. You believe that you have to speak to say it, or say it differently, to make it seem like it's a different thought to what everyone else believes you think, which is in fact what you think in the first place. But the reality is you don't have to say anything at all. You could sit back and just enjoy the fact everyone understands you because you're quite the open book. You're a hipster. It's as simple as that. That's what you've always been, Hasan. You can try and act different about it, but I'll be honest, nothing about you reeks of anything else. And the best proof of you being a contradiction, or a hipster, in this instance, is your dress sense, is the way you live your life, whilst espousing ideas that go against it. I know you like to say that perhaps you've earned it, but that doesn't exist in your not-so-capitalist utopia, does it? That's not how the system works. Now, there's one last thing I want to show you. It's an article from a few days ago, in fact, titled, Political Twitch Streamer Hasan Responds to Misogyny Allegations. Now, just to be clear, misogyny is often misused, carries no weight, and is absolutely done as a form of character assassination, thought-terminating cliché to silence somebody else. Hasan, though, benefits from a number of privileges, so how he handles this is interesting, or will be interesting. Now, during a January 5th livestream, so yesterday, Hasan reacted to a TikToker called Sister Separatist, with a video captioned Hasan Piker and the misogyny of leftist males, advocating for Hasan's downfall. While accusing the creator of misogyny, they remarked, I need Hasan's downfall to be swift and thorough. So I've talked extensively about how leftist men contribute to a misogynistic social climate. I've also talked about how they actively work to keep women out of politics. I think Hasan Piker is a great example of this. He contributed a great deal to the mocking of Amber Heard's testimony, and now he's doing the same thing to Blake Lively. Hasan laughed and said, It's true, I did. It was me. I'm the one who did it. Everyone else was actually firmly committed to Amber Heard. And then I posted about one time on Twitter how her fit was giving Mao... Isn't that Mao? Chairman Mao? Yeah. Comparing her to a man, although I do like Mao, and also have the same fit. That was the pivotal turn when everyone went... The streamer snaps his fingers. Thanos snap thing. Furthermore, the streamer claimed people have no concept of the world outside of the horse blinders, saying, I think people have no concept of the world outside of the horse blinders that they put on. I do wish that I just ripped into Amber Heard now, though. I really do, and it's not even because I would have gotten so much clout. Like, I would have gotten endless amounts of clout off of that. So much clout. Like, I barely even touched that. I barely covered it at a time when there was so much going on. It is not misogynistic for Hasan to say what he said now. When he's accused of misogyny for mocking Amber Heard's testimony, that is incorrect. So in this instance, he is not a misogynist. Him being a fan of Mao is not a surprise, even if he said it as a joke. Because, and I've got a playlist on Amber Heard on this channel, Amber Heard Johnny Depp defamation trial. I went through the whole thing, and I got no clout for that. Didn't really get the views either, to be fair. But I did it because it was the right thing to do, covering every day of the trial, every week of it, making it a principal point to cover every aspect of it that includes before, during, and the fallout. It was an important trial, because it was defamation, and Amber Heard was rightfully annihilated by everyone. As far as Blake Lively goes, I'm not going to comment on it just yet. If it's going down a legal route, I want to see that resolved or near to resolution before I offer any comment on it, because that's getting tasty. So to finish, while he is not a misogynist, he's still a complete and utter smeghead. this trophy is for you. Just imagine it says streamer on instead, okay? As a final thing, we'll leave it on the screen for now. I'm going to be streaming on Twitch at some point, yes. Link in the pinned comment down below. Thank you for joining, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening.